What's good, YouTube, and welcome back to the Breakroom. Before we get this video started, I need you to go ahead and give it a like, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to ring that bell. That way you'll never miss a thing. For today's video, we're going to try to get to the bottom of whether or not these inhibitor chips actually stopped working or were never activated in the first place. So basically, how we can break this down is by looking at the history of Jedi involvement on Ryloth. To start, you have to look at Season 3, Episode 3, when Jedi Master Dai is actually helping defend Ryloth from a separatist invasion, blockade, have you will, while some maneuvers are being made by Organa and Jar Jar Binks to get some supplies there. This all, of course, ends in the death of Captain Keeley and Jedi Master Dai just as supplies are finally flown in. The next time that we see Jedi involvement on Ryloth is kind of out of chronological order in the series. You have to go back to Season 1 for the Liberation of Ryloth arc. Not really sure why Disney Plus has it laid out this way, or rather if it's just a Lucasfilm thing, how they did it at the time. But anywho, we go back there, and I believe we get an episode with Obi-Wan and Mace Windu actually kind of making a landing on Ryloth to start their mission. But we also, by the tail end of this, get Mace Windu meeting with Sham Syndulla and getting ready to make an assault on LaSalle. That's the capital of Ryloth. Sham welcomes Mace in. They do the damn thing, take the capital, and basically get the separation forces to surrender. And we never see or really hear from the forces on Ryloth again in this series. The next time, in fact, I think we hear about Ryloth or have any mention of them, besides maybe like a flashback or just a mention, is when we see Sham in Star Wars Rebels. We get no mention of what clones are actually on Ryloth with Mace Windu. We know that Mace Windu isn't there because obviously him and the Emperor had a date at the end of Revenge of the Sith. So what all of this tells us is there's this very, very strong possibility that the clones that are on Ryloth, including Captain Howzer, if he was there during Order 66 and the events that took place, may never have actually received that order. This could be the reason why he doesn't seem to be that drone clone, if you will, spouting off good soldiers, follow orders. And also why some of his men actually lay down their arms and join in with him and not supporting what the Empire is doing. Now, I've heard a couple variations of this theory on the internet, even some rebuttals to this, being that Wrecker didn't hear Order 66 as well, but he still almost killed his brothers. But he actually did hear Order 66 because he was at the same place that Crosshairs was when he received it. So that theory's out. But I think it's very possible that rather than their inhibitor chips just starting to not work any longer, that these clones just never received that order. I mean, maybe it's also possible that there's a backup plan built in by the Kaminoans for these chips to expire. I kind of personally hope it is part of it. Would love to see a clone rebellion slash uprising on Kamino or some combination of that. So what do you guys think? Let me hear what you got in the comments. Come at me with your best, wildest creative theory on this topic. And where do you think we're going with the Bad Batch in the future? Hopefully I'll be streaming live and talking about this a little bit more throughout the week. But thank you for checking us out today, guys. This has been your Fourth Wall Break.